wie du aufgewachsen bist in Quakenbrück als kleiner Junge. Jetzt spielst du hier vor knapp 20.000 im Madison Square Garden. Beschreib doch mal, wie das ist für dich und auch welche Rolle dein Vater gespielt hat auf deinem Weg.
Ist besonders. Ich meine, man geht von der Halle, wo jetzt vielleicht 3.000 Leute da sind, und dann spielt man eine Playoff-Series mit einer von den besten Fans in der Liga. Ist was anderes. Ich meine, mein Vater hat sehr viel dabei gespielt, dass ich jetzt hier bin. Ich meine, das ist jetzt immer noch bei mir jetzt. Wir trainieren auch, wo es ein bisschen nicht so gut geklappt hat, ist er ein bisschen reingekommen, haben wir zusammen trainiert, und der ist für mich immer wichtig. Ich meine, es gibt einer, der selber Profi gespielt hat, und ich kann einfach damit aufbauen, und es ist auch sehr besonders, dass er immer für mich da ist. No, you got that? You gotta write that down.
Isaiah, you won the battle on the boards 50-34. What did you think of the effort? What did you think of the aggressiveness with 11 offensive rebounds as well?
We just wanted to come in and be more physical. I mean, I think that was one of the spots, especially in the first game, where we felt like they couldn't really feel us either. And so we just want to come in, be more physical. I mean, having Julius back brings also another dimension to the game where you can be a lot more physical, especially on the offensive boards. And it's hard when you got Josh, Julius, me or Mitch in the game. It's hard to box out in those situations. So having Julius back was great.
Isaiah, have you ever been part of a minute-and-a-half long possession like you were midway through that fourth quarter? Like, what are you thinking when you're a minute into a possession, you don't even know you have another 30 seconds to go in it?
What do you mean?
That possession where you guys had like offensive rebound after offensive rebound after foul in the back.
Not really. I mean, it was a good possession. I mean, I think it kind of showed who we are kind of as a team. Just no matter what happens, I think we stick together and we just keep going. I mean, I think that's what got us here, and I think just being physical, playing together, and just keep going.
Just following up on that possession, you guys had 4 offensive rebounds. You yourself had 3.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like you're always in the middle of possessions like that where you're keeping the ball alive, getting a bunch of offensive rebounds. What is it about your style of play that you think kind of enables you to always be at the center of those type of plays?
I mean, I just try to do whatever the team needs. I mean, I think that's what you got to do, especially as a professional athlete. I mean, I think a lot of guys in the NBA can do a lot more, but you just have to find your niche in the NBA. And so, I mean, my niche on this team is just playing hard, making the smart plays. And having guys out there like Josh and Julius just makes my rebounding easier.
Isaiah, you and Mitch picked up some fouls early in that first half.
Yeah.
How do you go about, not trying to pick up other ones and still stay aggressive out there?
I mean, just not do the little stupid fouls. I mean, I think my first 3 fouls were all little stupid fouls. So it just still playing aggressive, but then try not to make those stupid fouls. And so, yeah.
Isaiah, you talked about this morning, feeling like you guys needed to play more physical, needed to be hungrier. Did you kind of take it upon yourself at points to just give that extra effort?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that was one thing where I really saw watching the game that we weren't physical enough. And so whatever I can do, I'm trying to be as physical as possible. If that's setting a little harder screen, boxing out a little harder. So, yeah, just trying to be as physical as possible.
Isaiah, Caleb, Martin, obviously, and Gabe Vincent, they gave you a lot, all you could handle tonight. I mean, what do you think it's going to be like in Miami if Jimmy Butler comes back?
It's going to be, again, just adjusting. I mean, Jimmy Butler is a great player. I mean, I think what made them a little tougher to guard than usual was their ball movement. I think that gave us a little bit of problems at times, just how they moved the ball. And so, I mean, when Jimmy comes back, it's a little less. So I think they did a great job. I think their coach did a great job of just the way they moved the ball, the way they moved off the ball. So.
Did you guys ever feel comfortable against the zone? I mean, they played it for basically the last 3 quarters of the game. How do you think you did? Were able to sort of crack it at the end?
I think at the end of the game we kind of started to figure it out more. Just screening angles, flipping the screens, just trying to. The way they were switching, there was I think they were switching the guard the back guard onto Jalen, so just finding different ways to screen to get Jalen open and just move the ball. I mean, I think that's the thing you definitely have to do against the zone is move the ball, and I think before we were a little bit maybe too stagnant on that.
There were a couple of possessions where you had to close out on a guy in one corner and then get all the way to the other side of the floor and close out another guy in the other corner. Where are you looking to make those reads, and how much energy does that take out of you defensively when you have to cover that much ground?
I mean, I'm just trying to read the play throughout the game. I mean, I get paid to make those energy plays, and so especially in the playoffs, those little details count, and so I just try to make sure I'd always do those little details, especially in the playoffs.
Josh, you talked. I mean, Isaiah, you talked this morning about the things you guys had to do, the kind of desperation. You guys are still down with a couple of minutes left here. Could go down 0-2. Just what was the feeling among you guys?
I mean, again, just staying present. I mean, just playing play by play. I think we did the little stuff to win the game. I mean, if it was rebounding, setting the hard screens, making a smart play. So it's just not getting too far ahead of yourself and just really playing it play by play. Because if you get too far ahead of yourself, that just takes you out of the game.